Welcome, fight fans, to episode 81 of the Hooks In MMA podcast. We've got a special guest this week. Adam Davidson's back in the house. He's going to be sharing some locks, some little analysis from last week. And we're going to be getting ahead of that book for UFC Fight Night, Ankalaev versus Santos. But we also have a UFC fighter on this weekend's card, Kris Moutinho, who's best known for getting beat up by Sean O'Malley. So, Son, why don't you kick things off? Tell us a bit about yourself, a bit about your life, and then we'll get right in and getting ahead of that book.
Hey, really good intro. Really good.
I can edit.
Well, we don't edit here. Tell us.
Just say whatever you want to say, and then
get the hell out of here.
And then when we had watched it, keep it.
Popping in just to see how the boys were doing. Miss the guys. Hopefully, everyone out there is making their bets, making some money. And I told Zone Bryce Mitchell was going to dominate Barboza. Didn't listen to me. Lost a bit of money on a little side bet, but it's all good.
Congratulations, sir.
Well played, sir.
I hope that fills a quarter of your tank tomorrow when you drive to Brampton.
Probably maybe
Not
one,
even.
maybe 1/16.
1 quarter. Yeah, we'll give you a quarter a week for it then. Nice trade. That's what it's worth.
And what else was I going to say? Oh, hate Colby, but knew he was going to win. Just Masvidal couldn't handle the wrestling.
Colby, underrated. I think he's very underrated. He's not respected enough because of how much he's hated, right?
Yeah, talks way too much shit. Kind of like a cringe way too. Like not even like Connor would do it funny, but Colby just sounds like a dickhead, like chirping people's wives and shit. Like,
Yeah,
like relax, but
that's the one thing you don't go to. I think Bisping was saying that. Wives and kids, pretty much.
Yeah,
Everything else
religion
on the
or-
table.
But anyways, that's all I got.
Do pussies.
Apex.
April 9th. We'll see you then.
Do you have any picks there, Davidson? You got the Bryce Mitchell one, right? So, what else? The Easy Lines could use your help here. Let's go.
What do we got? What do you even got this weekend? I don't even know.
Ankalaev Santos is the headline, and then the co-mains Marias versus Yadong Song.
Or even the upcoming big fights. We got, if you anything off the top of your head, like Volkanovski, Zombie, Sterling, Yan.
Chimaev and Burns.
Also, I'll bet you 20 right now that Kennedy beats Pico. We could do that too.
Ooh, on the air. Let's go.
This will be on YouTube live in front of the world.
Wow.
Not even live. It's recorded, but
Oh, it'll be live.
But it'll
It's
be
live
permanent.
for us, okay?
We'll leave this earth one day, but these clips will still be there.
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to do some more research before I'm Dutch, so I gotta, double, triple check before I make any bets. Small bets only.
Son will be back for episode 82 with his insights. But now is the time we've all been waiting for. It's Easy Lines. Z-Ball, kick us off.
Welcome back for another episode of Easy Lines, and thank you, Kranz, for that introduction. Very excited this week. We had an excellent performance last week with UFC 272, going 5-0, straight up with all of our picks over in the Covington Masvidal fight. Mitchell, for myself, of course, is why I took as well. Rodriguez by decision, Holland by finish as well, which those last two weren't. Well, Holland wasn't looking too great there at the end of the first round, obviously, with that meme-worthy ending, but everything worked out. We're right back on track here for 2022. 19 wins, 7 losses, giving us a winning rate of 73%. Career records, 167 wins, 102 losses, with a winning clip of 62% there. And now, main event this weekend, high-ranking light heavyweight fight between Magomed Ankalaev. Hopefully I said everything right. Taking on Santos. Magomed, heavy favorite, sitting at actually I have minus 500 here as I was looking at it last night, but I think it's at minus 550 now on Bet365. Santos, big underdog at plus 380 again. Last time I took a look at it on Bet360. Oh no, he's up to plus 400 now, excuse me. Yep, on Bet365. So that line is really juiced up. I already had written down juiced up. It's even more juiced now. Don't get me wrong. I think this is the same situation as last week. You know, Colby, who I took to win, but I'm taking Magomed, right, to win this week as well. Do not recommend it at minus 550 though. Maybe if you want to add it in the parlay, but it's not even worth it at those numbers, right? Santos certainly has a chance to win still this fight. Another important stat to take in consideration, kind of fun fact here. I don't know if anyone else saw this, but if you're named Magomed in the UFC, you're 45-8. So that's an 85% winning rate. I think someone should change their fight nickname to Magomed, you know, just like a Bobby Magomed Smith or something. Magomed name's proven best base for the MMA. Real question for me, though, is how does Magomed win? Is it a finish or decision? He's bringing a 16-1 record into Saturday night. Only loss being the UFC debut against Paul Craig, where he tapped in the final second of the final round, after beating him up basically for 3 rounds straight, or at least beating him. It was a triangle choke to tap quickly as well. As soon as he got up, you could tell his reaction, realize his mistake. That's something that really stays with you, I think. And I don't think we see Magomed make any real mistakes like that again up until he fights some elite opponents. That's really shown since that time. He's gone 7 fights on a 7-fight winning streak, 4 of them being stoppages. Most recently, his last 2 wins were decisions over Nikita Krylov and Volkan Ozdemir. Diego Santos is coming off a decision win over Johnny Walker. Walker just got absolutely obliterated by Jamal Hill. Not beating up Walker worse is kind of starting to look bad now. Previous to that win, Santos had 3 straight losses. First, in the amazing, 5-round fight against John Jones. Then he got tapped by Glover, lost decision to Alexander Rakic. I really just don't think Santos has ever been the same since that John Jones fight. That was an absolute peak of his condition and career. His knees got, torn up since then. I'm not saying he's completely washed up by any means, but he isn't the same Santos that he was before, that straight up, straight ahead killer that would basically bum rush people in the first round every single time. Since that Jan Blachowicz fight, he's taken a much more patient approach, usually in his fights. He's had a storied career here in the UFC, many fights. I think it's kind of time the next generation kind of moves up here and holds the spots, takes this kind of a top 5 position. So Magomed will be able to take his top 5 spot. I think Magomed takes his usual patient approach, starts popping at his legs of Santos, tries to avoid any rush he may try in the first round. Glover really exposed Santos' ground game, in my opinion. I think Ankalaev mixes in some takedown as well because of that. Because this is a 5-round fight, I am leaning towards a finish here. I'm not really sure Santos makes it past the 3rd or 4th round, although I do like the over 2.5 rounds at minus 175. That's good to parlay. The finish here is probably changed right now. So it used to be a plus 120. Now it's a plus 110 for Magomed. So plus 110. I'll still take that. That's still juiced enough for me to get this 5 rounds done in the 3rd or 4th round. 4th round finish, Magomed plus 1,600. Love it. 3rd round plus 900. But and as I said, over 2.5, still a minus 175. What are you boys thinking for this one?
All you, Zone.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Ankalaev's going to finish him. Just don't know when. I could go with your 2.5 rounds. I'd be good with that. 3rd, 4th round finish, lock it in. Ankalaev by finish, and getting real close to a title shot here.
Yeah, 2 guys kind of on opposite paths. Ankalaev on the rise, kind of looked unbeatable in his last probably 4 or 5 fights. He had that 1 loss in his career versus Paul Craig, which was 1 second left in the fight due to a nice submission. Probably learned from that. That was 4 years ago. Don't see really anyone, unless you're in the top three, giving him a run for his money. So I think he makes easy work. And Santos on the decline. I could see him getting cut if he gets blown up here early. And I feel really good about finish and liking that plus money.
And not to interject here, Z, I know you probably have something to say, something you've talked about here, written up to talk about. But speaking of getting cut, this could be 4 in a row for Marlon Moraes, and based on his salary and losing 4 in a row here potentially, his last fight he got paid $126,000, and that was just his show money. So they tend to, UFC tends to trim the fat basically if you aren't performing. And I'm sure you want to speak about that. Just hope he doesn't get cut, because I do like the guy a lot. I still think he's got a ton of talent. He's up and tough here against Song Yadong, so see what happens.
No, absolutely, I agree. And it's a really exciting kind of co-main event, top 15 matchup. Bantamweight, as you said, Marlon Moraes taking up that kind of up-and-coming Son Yadong. Yadong coming in at a moderate favorite, almost kind of edging at a heavy minus 250. Veteran Moraes at underdog plus 200 there. Moraes has not really looked good his last 3 outings, right? Getting stopped within the first 2 rounds each time. But who has he gone up against, right? Corey Sandhagen, who proved to be a challenge for what I think everyone considers to be the best in this division, Petr Yan, right? Then Rob Font finished him in the first round. Then Merab, who most of us thought was is a great prospect in the UFC. He hasn't really gotten a big fight yet. And really in that fight as well, he almost put Merab away in that first round. Yeah. He was kind of wobbling on his feet and stuff like that. So he gave us quite an entertaining fight. But Merab was able to kind of weather that storm and finish Marlon in the second round. Is kind of the story of his career, unfortunately. When he goes up against these really tough opponents, right? He comes out guns a-blazing really, really well. But if you're able to weather it, you can sometimes, a lot of these guys are finishing him, right? Yadong Son, on the other hand, he's had 9 fights in the UFC, won 8 of them, including decision win over Marlon Vera in 2020. That's aged very well, right? His only loss in the UFC is a decision loss to Kyler Phillips in early 2021. Since then, a split decision win over Casey Kenny, then a second round finish by punches over Julio. I forget how to say it. Arce. Yeah. And then Yadong's just 24 years old, right? Marlon's, I think is going to be too much, in my opinion, actually too much of a step up for Yadong at this point, or at least at plus 200. I love Marlon in this spot for me, straight up, to win as an underdog. Not only good value, but also, I think he has a good chance, in my opinion, 50% chance, maybe more, to win. So I like that. I really, really like those odds. Also, the over 1.5 rounds, minus 138. I mean, Marlon is a fast starter. Yadong clearly has great power, but these are 135s. They're both quite technical, defensively responsible on the feet. They're both technical. Let's say that. I mean, Marlon not super defensive, but I like these odds overall. At minus 138. Could it end in the second round? End of the second round, yes. But as I said, we're fine here on this bet. Remember, over 1.5, at least on Bet365, is 2.5 minutes into that second round, right? So let's get to that 2:30 mark. Whatever happens. So I like that minus 138 because you're going to get juiced no matter what, usually on these half bets. So let's take it. What are you guys thinking there? Or I guess, what do you think, Zoni? I guess, you said he might get cut. There's pressure, so what do you think? Do you think he pulls it, or, at least has a chance to pull it out? Or are you loving Son? Yeah, true.
No, I'm with you. I love the value. Plus 200. That's insane. he still has it. And you know what? He's gone back to the well here. He's gone back and he has to have fixed some of these issues, like knowing his career and his UFC contracts on the line. I mean, Song Yadong he's fantastic, especially like you said at 24. Great resume so far. This is a great co-main. I can't wait. But with the plus money there, I don't know how you can't invest in it. I'm going to take that as well. I like it. And I just think he's gone back. He did have the injury. He had some time off, Marlon, and coming back off the injury, he did look really, really good in that first round against Merab, but Merab's hard to put away. And if you give him an inch, he's going to, take a foot. So he ended up getting the better of him. But yeah, I love the value there. So I'm with you.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think betting wise, like the odds seem a little off to me. I don't think you would ever want to take Song money line. That's like just terrible. Where I could make an argument to take him. So first off, I like the over. I even like to go the distance. I think that these guys have the styles to have a 3-round war. And with Marias's career, with the UFC at least on the line, I think he'll gut one out and get to the scorecards. Will he win by decision? That's another question. But to get Song plus 300 by decision, I think is really good. But most of my money here is going to be on the round betting. I'll probably sprinkle a bit, plus 150 to go the distance. And I really like Z's 0.15 over. I know you look at their track records and there's a lot of finishes sprinkled throughout, but like when you look at the two of them together and the circumstance and where they're at in their career, I could see it being a slow first round, a bit, getting their range conservative and then getting into second round, third round, stand and bang. And that over looks really good value for bantamweights to be paying that. You don't see that a lot. So I like that.
And it feels like at these higher levels, like once these guys start to get up there, right? Like the top 15 fights, it's very rarely that it ends in the first round, right? Unless they're heavyweights or something. Like I just can't think of it that much, really. Any of these main event or co-main event fights really ending in the first round. Usually a lot more of them are boring than not, and it goes longer because they're both really good. So, and then the other guy's kind of fainting for the freaking first 2 minutes trying to figure it out, right? So it's gonna, so it's just, I'd rather put my money on that here. They're giving you basically not even money, obviously minus 138, but we already see value on the decision as Kron's talked about here, right? So I think certainly that over 1.5 is good to take. I just did a little two-leg parlay. Magomed finished plus 110, over 1.5 minus 138. Both those together are plus 262. Like, you know what I mean? Put 3 units on that and love life. Whatever. Put 5 units on that. That's okay by me. If like I think that's my main bet for the night. That's looking pretty, like, even, that's looks like solid value to me, right? $100 pays you 360. So like that's solid to me.
And we got just over 3.5 minutes here.
I'm good on, that's all I had for my main analysis. So yeah, you jump in there.
So yeah, I want to touch on one because we did if you guys remember back to, I think it was episode 75, first one of the year, we talked about which card we're looking forward to and which matches. And this was the card I'd selected. And the fight is actually Bruno Silva versus Alex Pereira. And it's going to be great. That's, I think, kicking off the main card, which seems crazy. I would have thought maybe co-main, but it just goes to show how deep this fight night is. But guys, please tune into that one. Don't miss it. It's going to be a banger. Both are killers. Really tough to bet on. I am still leaning towards Pereira, of course. He's minus 175 now. I think I caught him earlier in the week around minus 150, but just it's going to be nuts. So please
insane. Bruno's last bunch of fights, he's murdering people, and Pereira obviously called out Izzy yesterday saying his fan base is they're all being lied to because Adesanya is avoiding him. He doesn't want to fight him. So I mean, it just builds up the anticipation to see him again in there. So yeah, we got 2 minutes. I got a couple quick ones if you don't mind, Krons, just to toss in there. My lock of the week is Miranda Maverick by finish. Right now, you can get her at plus 275. I absolutely love it. She's coming off of against Macy Barber. She won that fight. She lost it though by the judges. And then short notice against Erin Blanchfield, who's a killer herself. I like her to come out aggressive, and I wouldn't be surprised with a submission or a ground and pound finish. The other one I like as well, Kris Moutinho, who's on our podcast this week. I like him to win the fight, just money line, minus 150. He's fighting Guido Canetti, who should have been cut a while ago. He's 42 years old, and as you get up in age at bantamweight, you're just not the same as maybe like a Glover at light heavyweight. The bigger you are, I guess a little bit later in your career you can last, but the speed goes away. And 42 years old for me, I love the minus 150 there. And just two fights to watch out for, two contender series undefeated guys, Azamat Murzakanov, and we have Javid Basharat. Both of those guys looked fantastic on contender series, so no betting tips here. Just tune into those two guys, two undefeated contender series guys with a lot of upside. So check those out as well.
Amazing. Thanks, Oni. T-Rex McKinney, really excited for his short turnaround. Hooks an alum, of course, and man alive, if he can reel off another win here, that kid, he could really accelerate up the rankings. And I mean, Dober's going to be a true test for him too, right? So circle that one. And then maybe just a value play if you guys are interested. We took him a few weeks ago and he paid us off, and that was Alex Caceres. He's fighting Sadiq Youssef, who will be a tough match for him, but I don't know. I think his experience and just he's very dynamic and has a lot of different skill sets, I think is good.
Next up on the Hooksin MMA podcast, we're lucky to have on 9-5 bantamweight. He's got a big fight coming up on March the 12th. We got Kris Moutinho today. How's it going, man?
It's going great, bro. Thank you for having me on,
No problem. We really appreciate your time. Sure you're busy with training and everything. Just take us back a little bit, growing up, did you play any other sports? And then kind of what age and why did you ultimately pick MMA as, a career path?
Yeah. So when I was like really young in like elementary school type, I played like little Pop Warner football up until I was like about a freshman in high school, and then I realized genetics just weren't on my side, man. I wasn't gonna be any NFL player, any anything like that, you know what I mean? And then I found wrestling in my freshman year of high school, and it completely changed my life. It gave me confidence. It showed me that there's more inside of you than you even know. I mean, you got to dig so deep. And then after high school, I was kind of just floating around and just being that normal idiot. You know what I mean? I wasn't a school guy. I was never gonna be in school, so I was just working little jobs and drinking too much and going out with your friends and stuff like that. And then I got that bug to compete again. And my first coach, George Rivera, opened up his gym in Milford, Massachusetts, and from there on it was history. You know what I mean? It's been 10 years of my life dedicating everything I have to it, and I ain't looking back.
Yeah. So currently, you've had a successful and experienced amateur career. Are you still in Massachusetts? And if so, which gym are you training out of? And then who's in your corner for the 12th of March?
I'm born and raised in Milford, Massachusetts. I still live here, and I train out a few gyms. You know what I mean? I train out of Regiment Training Center is my main MMA gym, and then I have my boxing gym, Uppercuts Boxing Club, and then I go and cross train with the guys over at Lozon MMA. So I'm a little bit all over the place, but for my corner, it's gonna be my coach Brian Raposo, Tommy Teixeira, and my boxing coach AJ.
Awesome. And you've had your pro career. You've had a lot of quality wins, and then even a couple of the losses you've had against great competition, and we obviously saw that with your last fight, always willing to step in, always willing to fight the best to kind of get where you want to be. Do you see yourself as somebody that will take on any challenge based on even just talking about the last fight, and just anytime, any place, anywhere kind of guy?
Oh, for sure. You know what I mean? I've wanted this. There was a thing that I set out for myself when I started this. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the guy that just squeaks by and makes it there just because he's being smart, he's picking his things. I've always wanted the toughest competition. I want to test myself every time I get in there. I fought some of the best guys in the country that before the UFC. You know what I
Yep.
mean? When I was an amateur, I fought guys that made it to the UFC like Manny Bermudez and stuff like that. Fights that you're supposed to take when you're taking free fights. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? This is how I've really always looked at it, and you see it a lot now with the guys now. They want to make it to the bigger show, and they take the easiest fights they can possibly find, guys they're supposed to knock out, and then they make it to the big show, and they don't look too good. You know what I mean? They don't make it too far. They don't last here too long, and something I've truly believed in myself, and I was taught from a very young age. You know what I mean? When growing up, I was always a small kid. I was up until I got senior year of high school. I was like 5 feet,
Yeah.
5 foot, nothing, dude. So I was always picked on a little bit. Had to work my way through stuff. So I feel the same way now, man. I've always had that chip on my shoulder and always look at myself as I'm the underdog, and I'm getting beat. I'm getting somebody's gonna try to pick on me, bully me, and it's just the way I've always looked, man. I always want to know if I'm not the stronger, if I'm not gonna be the better guy, at least I want to go out on my sword and my shield, and that's just the way it is.
Absolutely, yeah. And the people that picked on you back then, if they saw you now, they'd be in trouble. So it's funny how the world, it comes full circle at some point. And obviously, you had a couple of really nice finishes before the UFC. Just talk about I guess that call to the UFC, and obviously fighting somebody that has made waves. And how do you feel like that fight overall has made you a better fighter moving forward here to the 12th?
Yeah, man. It was just right place, right time type of situation. You know what I mean? This I've been saying it a lot, man. This sport is a lot of luck. You know what I mean? This sport, obviously, it's a lot of hard work. Everybody who's made it to the highest level works their butt off, but it's all about just being there, being present in the moment, and being ready to take the opportunity and run with it. You know what I mean? That's what that fight was. I had another fight booked. I had a title fight for Cage Cage Fury. No, Cage Warriors. Cage Warriors. I was booked to fight in August, and it just happened. His opponent pulled out. My manager was like, "Yo, you want to throw your name in there?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course. I'll throw my name in there. It's a big fight. I've always wanted to punch that dude in the face, so let's go do it." And threw it in. It went by like 3 or 4 days. I didn't really hear nothing, so I was just assuming they're just gonna blow me off. There's no real. We didn't really think we were gonna get it. And then my manager hits me up one day and he's like, "Yo, you got past the first round of how they're picking. You know what I mean? Like they didn't say didn't get it. They didn't say you did yet, but just stay ready. Just stay ready. Get ready to do it." And then I hung up the phone with him. 5 minutes after that, I look at my phone and it's just blowing up. I have like 2,000 DMs
Oh,
with people just telling me I'm gonna die, you're gonna get your ass kicked, you're gonna get knocked out cold, and I didn't even know about it yet. Had no clue. I guess he posted it on his Instagram
no
or
way.
his Twitch stream. So my shit blew up. My manager called me right back. He was like, "Yeah, you got it, bro. Let's make the weight now." And it's been and making me better. It's changed everything in my life. You know what I mean? I've just having to deal with all the people around, people talking, having a new level of shit that I've never even understood before. Like I never thought I was gonna ever be like it was gonna be like this crazy. I'm not equipped for that, man. I'm a shy, introverted person. I like to be to myself. So it's just having to deal with that and still train and focus and stay focused behind it has been a life lesson. And there was just a lot of things in that fight that everybody's seen it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things I had to work on, a lot of things I have to fix. I'm still learning. I'm still getting better, man. It's been 10 years and I feel like a baby in this sport. You know what I mean? I've been in this. I've had over 20 fights. and there's still so many things I can get better at, so many things I can improve on. Every fight I've ever had has made me a better man.
Yeah, and I can just hear it in your analysis, of the evolution of the sport. You're going to get there, evolving and sharpening the tools, as they say. The crazy part is the way you explain with the DMs and all that shit. It's getting bad these days. Like it's everybody, people sitting on their couches that haven't even trained a day in their life, and they have the nerve and the audacity to send you a message, and many of them, like you said, it's ridiculous. And I know that you probably didn't take any of that into consideration, but it's just people just have nothing better to do, so fuck them. But yeah, moving forward here, Guido Canetti, what do you know about him, and how do you feel like you stack up against him?
He's a great dude. He seems like a great dude, a really tough, durable fighter. He comes to bring the fight, and he likes to bang. You know what I mean, which fits good with my style. You know what I mean. I like to bang. I like to put on a show for everybody. He's tough. Doesn't have a great record in the UFC, but when you're an older guy and you're still coming in there and being able to fight these 22-year-old monsters, man, that says a lot about you to me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
If he's got a good kickboxing background, and his only real holes have been on the ground. So we're gonna try to exploit everything. You know what I mean? But he's a tough dude. I don't underestimate anybody, man. That's the thing. I've had people tell me, "Oh, you're gonna run through this guy." Man, this is a fight. This is a fight. If that's the way if that's the way fights worked, man, we wouldn't even fight. We just say that guy's gonna win, and then we go out there. You know what I mean? I could go out there, slip on a banana peel for all I know, bro. This sport's crazy, and I'm just training my butt off so that I go out there and I do my job. You know what I mean? I'm ready to put on shows for everybody. I'm ready to get these bonuses. I'm ready to make fighting exciting in the 135-pound division, because it's the best division in the UFC.
Couldn't agree more.
There's the wealth of talent in there, man. It's a murderer's row, and I can't wait to put my name in that hat and try to make it to that belt. That's my goal, man. Belt or bust. You know what I mean? That's what I want, and I can't wait to go. You know what I mean? I can't wait.
Can't wait to see it, just as a fan. And just outside of training, outside of fighting, what are some of the hobbies you have to keep you in check, keep you still having fun, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, man. I'm just a pretty simple dude. You know what I mean? I like to go to movies. Most of the stuff I'm just hanging out with my fiance and stuff like that. I like to hang out with her. I have little brothers and sisters. I like to do stuff with them. I like to go hiking, go walking outside. Anything outdoors is cool. I got into video games during the whole COVID thing. So any other free time, I'm just chilling in my house and doing that. But I'm a big movie buff. I watch a lot of TV, watch a lot of movies, and that's basically it, man. I'm and eat a lot of food, man. I'm a fat kid for sure. I'm a fat kid.
Awesome. Yeah, just to finish up, we'll do a 1-minute between round segment. I'll ask you a question. You give me your best answer, okay?
Okay.
Your favorite sport other than MMA?
Does reality TV count? You know what
Sure.
I mean? I'm not a sports guy, bro. I don't really watch sports. I watch trash TV. That's it, man.
Sounds good. I'd got to ask you, based on what you said, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie. The Godfathers are pretty good. Anything Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, Tarantino's one of my favorites.
Yeah, anything like Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Fiction is good. I'm a big fan of that. And yeah, all the old mob movies like Scarface and stuff like that.
Awesome. Is there a new movie that you've seen that you would suggest to watch? It doesn't have to be Tarantino, just anything.
Newer. I just went to the movies last night. We watched Death on the Nile. That was pretty good. If you like murder mystery movies and shit
Yeah,
like that.
I've heard of that. It's good. Good.
Yeah, it seemed pretty good.
Nice.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. What about music? What kind of music do you listen to?
I got a big mix from between, like, I like rap music to like love songs to pop rock, pop punk rock, stuff like that. I just all different types of shit, different types of things, you know.
Yeah. And outside of your state, what's the coolest place in America you've traveled to?
Um, I haven't been too many places. California was pretty cool. All these places, everywhere I go, you know what I mean. I still like when I go somewhere, I'm like, it's only cool because I'm on vacation. You know what I mean.
Yeah,
If I live
yeah.
in these places, it might not be that cool, but like Florida was pretty cool. Yeah. So the best place I've been in the United States was probably actually no, the best place I've been to was New Orleans. New Orleans was really cool.
Okay, nice. What about post-fight kind of cheat meal, I guess? Well, it wouldn't be cheating, I guess, if it's after the fight, but post-fight meal, what do you got?
I'm a fat kid, bro. Like McDonald's is, I'm a crackhead from McDonald's. You know what I mean? I said this. They're gonna sponsor me one day, man. I'm gonna be a little fat kid from McDonald's and just rocking Happy Meals and all this stuff. I know, man.
Awesome.
McDonald's is my thing. You know,
And just a couple of your favorite mixed martial artists of all time.
of all time. You know what I mean? Just for personal like bias. You know what I mean? George Rivera's done so much for my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anybody who knows him, he's fought so many great killers, man. He fought everybody in the sport. He fought Rich Franklin in his silver. That guy has done more for my life than I could ever repay him for. So he's up there. George Rivera, George St. Pierre was a big one when I was young. You know what I
Yep.
mean? I was really just the way he fights, his work ethic, everything else. And then I like Izzy. Izzy's cool. Izzy's good, fun to watch, man. The kid super talented, and he's just a monster, you know.
Yeah, and it's not like you're calling out anybody, but just in the 135-pound division, is there somebody that you'd maybe eventually want to match up against?
Everybody,
Everybody.
every single body. I want everyone's life. You know what I mean? This is war. This is what I do, and I'm not a big mouth. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
certain. There's nobody I care about. If they're in the way, I'm gonna do everything in my power to take them out.
Sounds good to me. Do you have any sponsors, shout outs, or social media you wanted to shout out?
Oh, yeah, sure, man. I want to thank you for having me on, man. I want to thank my team, Regimen Training Center, uh, Uppercuts Boxing Club, and Lozen's MMA, and I just everybody that supports me, my friends, my family, my fiance, and just I want to thank everybody because man, without you, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I support you. We support you, and really looking forward to the 12th. Get that first W in the UFC, and put yourself on track to do all the things you want to do. So, thank you so much for your time. Good luck, sir. I hope to talk to you again in the future. And Kris Moutinho, this is Hooks and MMA. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. God bless.
You too.